The thing about dual diagnosis is that it's a condition whereby a person would suffer from addiction would also suffer from a mental health problem. When it comes to treatment, sometimes if a person is in a psychiatric hospital and being treated for the mental illness, the addiction is not fully addressed, if not addressed at all. Addiction cannot be treated in a vacuum. Both have to be treated together. Staff would have to be trained, units would have to be developed, and aftercare program and individualistic continuum of care. You know, one size does not fit all.
We all need to express ourselves, whether we do that with a friend over coffee, whether we do that in a group and we're big and loud. We all need to express ourselves. And I think that we all go through struggle, no matter what community we come from. And while we have names for things, it's really about there being a place where people can go and be met where they are in the difficulties that, you know. So I think it's been powerful on many different levels for the actors and for the people themselves, experiencing, meeting each other through the acting, you know. I think it's really brought them into a lot more confidence in themselves, just to act and to feel met by each other.
Hello, what's your name again?
My name is... What's my name again?
Nicholas.
Ray. I'm Ray. But it's, you kind of become... You think the way the character is, like you become the character or something, you know.
I was diagnosed with diabetes 2 years ago there, so you got that your notes there, I'd say. So I'm feeling better now than I have for a long time.
Diabetes?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I can't see your notes here. The doctor?
The doctor.
That was...
That was,
yeah, I mean, and reading the file and saying, keep talking and all this or that or the other. My name is Dr. O'Donoghue. I'm pleased to meet you. How have you been getting along?
Not too bad, doctor. Not too bad since I was last here.
Yeah. Keep talking there.
Right.
I'll go through your notes.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
You had to be a bit heartless.
Really?
Yeah, because you saw, like, the way at the end, the patient himself, the person who was playing the patient, just threw their jacket up in the air and it was unexpected, like, you know, but he was taking on the character as well. He was frustrated at, you know, getting nowhere. And
don't fall over. And you end up here after you've run around and you say, where do I go?
Yeah, I'm enjoying playing the Downey part. It brings a lot of interesting aspects out of my personality, like, you know, because sometimes, you know, I meet people and I wouldn't really be in the mood for a talk, and like I'm not that great sometimes, you know. Oh, well, it gives you more confidence in you, like if you're going into drama and stuff like that, like, 'cause, you know, you're there with a group of people, like, and you have to try and think up of situations and how to work out situations and stuff like that, like, you know, if you're in this situation, like, and you had to talk to this person about helping another person out of his situation.
It's alright, Tommy. Look,
it's not alright. I left the family down. Oh, Jesus Christ.
We'll work together. Will you tell me you'll get help?
Yes, sir. Well, it's about Tommy, and he's drifted away from his family because I suppose he's hanging out with the wrong crowd with the drugs addiction and stuff. They call around in here, like, and they try and have a word for them, like, you know, try and straighten out your act now, like Tommy. And, you know, there's places where you can go, like, and get some help, like, so, like, you know, if you just listen to where they're for you, like, you know, and offer you a little support, like.
I've been here only about 2 months, 2 or 3 months.
How'd you find it?
I find it really relaxing.
Oh, jeez, like, I'd love to relax. Oh,
and I tell you, my experience is that, like, before I came here, I was getting treatment outside of here in other places, and what I've experienced here is that you're listened to, and I think that you'll really feel at home here.
I think as you're making the play, it might draw your attention to certain aspects of things that we visualise, you know, the ideas we have about people or whatever. I mean, I found, like, with doctors and things like that, that they don't want them. They just want to get home. And the patients, I mean, anytime you go to the clinic there's a different doctor, like. And the doctor doesn't know you from Adam. But there does need to be changes, I mean, improvements along the way. And most people aren't afraid. If there's good free education, they won't have to be as ruthless. I think we're relying on money too much. Most people know they just want to make some money, and after that they live their lives or whatever.
Maybe sounds great idea.
Plenty of animals out there's old birds and horses and
maybe you should suggest that to them
monkeys and all that. Tony, would you like to go there for the day?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, yeah.
What I've seen so far is all that I ever hoped would happen, in that the travellers would engage.
Hello.
Tommy.
Oh, great,
I'm
great.
John.
John.
I'm from the travel community.
Oh my God, travelling community,
That's
great.
good, that's good,
Great, I'd love to.
This place looks
travel.
after you very well. I do a bit of
Great.
artwork there. You can see it up in the wall. Look,
My God.
tranquility, give you peace of mind and that, like, you know. I got word of mouth through Jim there, my friend.
I'd say people don't know what's within them. It's groups like this, and it's those mediums, and the fact that we have the song, and we have the poem, the odd evening, and the drama, that it's fabulous to make people feel at ease and all feel that we're starting together. Like, nobody in that group has ever performed in a play before, so they're all starting together, and that's what meshes them, I think.
I haven't got the money that I was there, you know, from the bit of stuff from last week, you know.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't, no, I'm a bit low on cash, like, you know. And
You told me you have it.
What I can do for you anyway, you can give me another bit there until next week, and I'll charge you for the 2 bits.
Well, I don't have any of the green anymore, but I have a powder that you might like.
Yeah, what's the name of it?
Well, it's smack like heroin.
Right.
Well, you mightn't like it, but I'll give you a package of it for nothing.
Like, when I heard it was going to be a workshop, I thought, like, it was, I'll be honest, like, working with timber and stuff and all that, you know what I mean? Like, because that is the workshop, you know?
Yeah.
Then as I got along there, then I got to know the lads, you know what I mean? I kind of got comfortable with it, like, you know? At first, I found it very hard to do this, very hard at first, like, you know what I mean? I'm really low now and I need some help now, I need some help. I'm the lowest point now. I'm glad I done it now, like, you know what I mean? Really and truly, yeah.
For some people, a diagnosis is important, and for some people, they identify with a diagnosis, and it helps to give them a framework to understand what the experiences are for them. But I suppose a lot of people I'd encourage to look beyond that diagnosis, you know. We can embrace the differences and talk about them and celebrate them, and that's what's been coming through from all the stories of the traveller culture that have really, really, you know, fascinated me and interested me. And then some of the lads talking about their experiences, you know, of wellness and unwellness and how they got through it.
Are you losing Tommy for me?
Yeah, like, he's in Cove. I found out he's in Cove.
You know, and they're proven to the public when we perform this that they have unbelievable abilities, the same as everyone. They have huge creative potential. They have very, very important things to say, and they need to be listened to.
The traveller is part of our community. They are no different to the settled community. Absolutely no difference. Only that they're disadvantaged in relation to education, health and employment. And there is tremendous work being done. There are some fabulous people, and they all have problems just like the settled community, and there is tremendous work going on here in TVG and other TVGs around the country. They're making great headway, you know, and they're challenging themselves, and I think the greatest form of empowerment is education, and the two things I'd love for them is education and freedom.
I do feel privileged to have been there with that amount of sharing, and watching that, all those relationships develop. Never ceases to amaze me the potential in people when you give someone a chance. When you listen to someone, when you let them express themselves. People haven't been listened to, people have been dismissed, being seen as a patient or a number or a burden on society or something like that. You know, it's just not good enough. We need to listen to people, listen to what people want, listen to their life stories, and I think that's what we've done with the play as well. We've listened to personal narratives and experiences that people have shared, and maybe people's experiences of not being heard, that can really, really affect a person. And it doesn't surprise me, you know. Times when I don't feel heard, it pisses me off. So I can only imagine what that's like when someone's going through a difficulty, when they need to talk to someone and be heard and be accepted. And people have spoken about how intrinsic it is to their personal development to express themselves creatively, how transformative that can be for people. And that's really, really evident in this drama piece, I think, and the whole process of it, you know.
There should be no suicides, ideally, in our world, you know, and unfortunately there is, and there is suicide, but it's higher for men, much, much higher for men than for women. And I would suggest one of the reasons for that is that men are less comfortable with showing or dealing with our emotions, you know. If we're, you know, big boys don't cry, or, you know, you got to be tough in this world, you got to be macho, you know, whatever it is, you know, you got to be all these things, whereas inside, men do grieve if something happens, if you lose somebody. In this group, there's a group of men getting together from different backgrounds, and not that we're getting into emotions in a big way, but we are hanging out together. We're not in a pub, we're not taking something to get us to open up, we're just ordinary guys getting together, doing something creative. This diagnosis, or you got that, you know, or you're this and you're that. But at the end of the day, I think we're all just, you know, like if we were children, we wouldn't see difference. We'd be, you know, on the playground, we'd be just there playing, you know.
And I think one of the other phrases that was brought in at some point was to find a place of hope and healing. And I think that's what this is really about. Whatever we're seeing on stage is relevant to our society currently as it is at the moment, because it's somebody's representation of the world, of something in the world, of an aspect. And I think that watching something like this, which expresses that on stage, really gives the audience a chance to reflect on that and to bring that more into their own awareness, and to see what can they do about it. What can we all do just to even have the awareness that this exists, that people can be missed, and that we need to help people feel more included. And I think that should be the goal of the services, all of them, and all of ourselves as workers, that we're not sectioning off people or boxing things off or putting something on a shelf, because that is not reality.